Hello, Internet? Am I on? Hello? YouTubes? Internets? Anybody? Bueller? Hey guys, happy Sunday, afternoon, evening, time appropriate greetings to wherever you're tuning from. Welcome to Fallout 4. Yay! And you probably never thought you'd see me start a Fallout 4 stream outside Vault 111, since I'm so sick of the main quest. But here we are. How's everybody doing tonight? Today, I see... let me check the chat here before I get too into things. I see... I cannot see these names today. Guy, I'm going to preface everything I say today right now. I started with a monster headache about 2 hours ago. And by monster, I mean if this headache was a movie, it'd be a Japanese Daikaiju movie with every Toho monster in it. Battle Royale. That's how bad this headache is. So... it's already, I can tell it's going to interfere with my already impaired thought process, so fair warning. If I stammer and stutter and sound half dead, it's because of this freaking headache. But we'll persevere and see what we got here. We have, I cannot see the names on this laptop screen. Amara Ironjaw Tandris. That sounds like a great name for an emo band. Hello, welcome. Woodchopper1, how you doing, man? You're here. You're here. Yes, you finally made it. I think this afternoon stream is going to be a little more time friendly for some of the people who are not in my time zone. So hopefully you guys will be able to hang out for a while. I see Jade River, Tukey Jones, Lewis. I got everybody here. Chris C in the house. How's it going, man? Go take a nap. That's exactly what my mom said. She was visiting this weekend, and I said, yeah, I want to stream this afternoon, but I got a headache. And she says, you should take a nap instead. You do this to yourself all the time. You should be taking a nap when you get headaches. But here I am. Guys, listen to your mom. Don't stream. Listen to your mom. So, purpose for today's stream, like if you read the post I made a little bit earlier today, this isn't really going to be a gameplay stream. This is just going to be a testing some mods, kind of playing around. Maybe going and editing some stuff. I'm probably going to be interspersing my desktop into the stream for the very first time, so we'll see how that actually works out, or if it does. Yeah, going to take some time to test some mods. I want to start a new character for streaming Fallout 4. Every time I've streamed Fallout 4, it's been on a test character, it's been on a character I haven't played in 6 months. I have no idea what I'm doing in them. I don't remember where I am. I want to do a character specifically for doing live streams with. And it is not going to be Nora. This is just a test Nora that I threw together. Basically, just Nora, although she did have time to go get a perm before the bombs fell. I use this save for testing any mods that I make, any mods I want to add to my playthrough, any mods I want to make changes to. I go and use this save because it's right outside Vault 111. It was originally no mods at all active, but boy, did I change that. So we're going to be bouncing between some saves here. Kind of have a rough agenda for the day. Let's check chat here, make sure what's the build? There is no build. If you mean the character build, this is just a generic Nora that I just kind of threw together. She's level 1 out of the vault. Nothing significant. And I'm going to be using God mode for this because this is really just for testing. We're not actually going to be playing today. So in fact, let me go and jump into God mode. And I'm going to toggle all the map markers so that we don't have to mess around with that. So I can actually fast travel to some places that we're going to be testing. Let's see, Jade River says, looking at Vault 111 in my current game, the damn floor elevator thingy is missing. Once it happens, Yep, you probably have a mod that is making changes to Vault 111 that shouldn't be there. Is usually what that means. So you probably want to do some X-Edit magic, which I think we'll be doing some of that today. Not in Vault 111, but some other cells. Kind of go over the rough game plan here. One of the things we're going to be doing is I am going to be testing out Sim Settlements Conqueror. Not anything to do with the Raider stuff. I have no interest in the Raider quest line at all in that. I am more interested in the pre-existing settlements that it adds. You guys been around the channel any length of time? You know how I feel about settlement building and the entire settlement system. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. To me, it's the worst part of this game. So when I saw that Conqueror was going to add pre-existing settlements that you could just stumble across like any other Fallout game instead of having to build your own fun, I was all over that. So that's what we're going to do today. I have been tinkering around with it. I just wanted to make sure it works flawlessly in all the testing I've done with it. King Gath and his team have done an amazing job. I mean, Sim Settlements alone is an accomplishment. It's not exactly my cup of tea because it's more involvement in settlements that I really want to have. But, let's see, Jade says, Monday morning here, so morning to you, Jade River. Hopefully this time frame, this afternoon stream for me will be a little more time-friendly for you. But yeah, so I've never really was into the Sim Settlements thing because it's still more settlement building and interaction. I just want to find a place, have it there in my game, explore it, and I don't want to deal with the whole settler thing. Although, for this playthrough, I'm actually going to be doing some of that. Well, the new character when I started anyway. Long story short, I've gone and added... I got a list here. Whoops, wrong button. I've gone and added... I toggle all the map markers on, so things are going to be a little cluttered here, including all the other mods that I've got going here. So if you're familiar with Conqueror, and King Gath, like I said, King Gath and his team have done an amazing job, and King Gath has a really great, it's about a 20-minute or so video explaining how to get Conqueror set up specifically to use with the pre-existing settlements. Watched that a couple of times, and it was so painlessly easy to get working. And anybody that has problems with it, they aren't paying attention, they aren't doing it right. If it was an iPhone, I would say you're not holding it right. That was like Apple's excuse for when people were having problems with their iPhone. You're not holding it right. So anyway, I loaded up, I think I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the settlements in the game. Had Conqueror, rebuild them, and the only blueprints, or whatever you call them, the city plans that were available to me, because I installed the Rise of the Commonwealth specifically for the city plans for that. So we're going to be checking out Coastal Cottage, County Crossing, Greentop Nursery, Kingsport Lighthouse, Somerville Place, Starlight Drive-In, Sunshine Tidings Co-op, and Taffington Boathouse. I am only going to be using probably 3 of those in the next this character I'm going to be building at some point in the not-too-distant future. I'm probably just going to be using County Crossing, Greentop Nursery, and Sunshine Tidings, because I've never done anything with any of those, and all the times I play Fallout 4, except for County Crossing, I've done things there once or twice. But to me, they're settlements that just, they're just there. They're locations that just kind of, meh. They're in the game, they don't really do anything. But of all the places, County Crossing, where are we here? County Crossing. That should have been something, because it's on this... It's a crossing. It's a crossing in the county, and basically it's like a focal point for all the traveling caravans. I mean, they go on their way down to Bunker Hill. I've seen Doc Weathers stop there all the time. I'm pretty sure that I've seen Cricket there, possibly. I'm not sure if that's on her route or not. I know Doc Weathers is there all the time because he goes up to the Slog. So anyway, that's a place that should have been something. I mean, they put so many settlements in here so close together. And you probably hear me gripe about some of the things in Fallout 4. And the settlement thing is one thing I'll gripe about the most. Too many settlement locations. It's like they went all in on the building and kind of forgot the rest of the game. So much as I love it, that's one of the things that really, really annoys the crap out of me. Is you've got these Finch Farms, Slog. They're all like a spitting distance of each other. If you had taken half of the settlement locations in this game and just made pre-existing communities out of them, like Bunker Hill, to me that would have been a nice trade-off. But you know, we all know how that ended up. So anyway, first thing I want to do is go check out some of these pre-built settlements and decide maybe I just want to check them out. And if you guys haven't seen them yet, might be a good opportunity for you guys to check them out if you want to use Conqueror for the same thing that I'm going to do. We're not going to go deal with, we're not going to go to Concord and talk to Jammer. I have no interest in dealing with that end of the mod, but the pre-existing settlement thing is very, very intriguing to me, so I want to go check that out. And then I want to test that as well as some landscape mods along with some of the mods I do want to use, the player home mods. Mostly my Better Homes and Bunkers mods. For this playthrough, when I build this character, you'll notice all these lovely trees that we got going. I'm going to start using Boston Natural Surroundings for this next game. I've been using Another Green mod, and I absolutely love it. It's got some great LOD. The trees look amazing. But I want to give Another Green mod. I want to give Boston Natural Surroundings a shot because it doesn't touch pre-combines at all. All the trees in the mod are completely hand-placed. And that mod author is completely insane for doing that. But, okay, Silver Fox, I want to say 6,000. I should have wrote it down. Boston Natural Surroundings, there's several different options. It's a really awesome mod. And it doesn't touch pre-combines at all. But I have found some places it conflicts with mods I want to use, like my the Commonwealth Courier stations. The East Boston station has some trees sticking out of it that I've since taken care of. I want to go to a couple other places and see if there's any other conflicts. I just kind of want to run through the game, see how the mod looks and works. I'm going to be making some texture changes, which we will go over shortly. So essentially the stream's going to kind of, well, once I get done babbling here, stream's going to be basically two things. We're going to go around the map, check out those mods that Conqueror has built up for me already, and then going to switch over to another mod set and basically just go and tweak some of the settings in Boston Natural Surroundings and the grass mod I'm using, which is True Grass. And we'll go over those changes when we get to that. I kind of don't want to get too ahead of myself here. So I guess it's probably time to get the show underway. Now, if you haven't set up Conqueror yet for the pre-existing settlements, one thing that King Gath and every member of his team I've seen post on the Conqueror mod page stresses is that you have to let the game run the scripts to build the settlements. You can't just start the game, run over to Abernathy Farm, and expect everything to be in place. The Conqueror runs through 4 stages of setting everything up, and depending on your machine, depending on how many settlements you have, depending on what the plots are used, and depending on like what the graphical settings you assign for Sim Settlements to use, will really make a huge difference on how long it takes to get everything up. Get everything up and running. I had 8 settlements that I had it set up, all using the generic, the basic Rise of the Commonwealth city plans. I have them set to Ultra. I set them to start off at level 2, and turned off the progression so they won't progress past level 2. They'll stay at level 2. This is just a test. I'm probably not going to do that in the regular game anyway. I don't think that these places should be completely built up. They shouldn't be on par with Diamond City. As far as I'm concerned, all these little, basically hole-in-the-wall places like Sunshine Tidings doesn't need to be built up like Diamond City. It should just be a little place with about a dozen people in it, and that's it. But to get those set up with those settings, basically the next Ultra settings, and then everything at level 2 with all the civilians that Conqueror has, because it already populates them for you too, which I think is pretty cool. That took about 40 minutes on my machine. That's my new beast that I built with the i9900K and 64 gigs of RAM. Took about 40 minutes to do all that, which I thought was pretty good, because it has to go through and basically place all the buildings. It places all the animation markers, then it goes and populates them, and then it has to go through and set all the plots up. And that's what seemed to take the longest, because the plots have all the clutter and detail put in. So depending on your hardware, it'll kind of determine how fast it takes for you. But I wanted to do all that before the stream. I didn't want to, take that up. Of course, we've been going for about 20 minutes now, me blabbing and kind of going over things. I probably could have done it, but whatever. Let's see, Jade, just go back to, give it, new version of Commonwealth Conifers mashed together. Oh, awesome. Tukey Jones, that sounds awesome. Thanks for letting me know. I'm definitely going to use that. Actually, one of the things I was going to bring up using Boston Natural Surroundings is I'm actually going to be using your pine tree textures in that. I'm going to drop those in and replace the ones that come with BNS, because that's one of the things I like your pine tree textures 1,000 times better. Just so you know, I think your mod's awesome. But thanks for letting me know. I'm definitely gonna check that out. Yeah, I not really too keen with the pine trees that come with that, and I've been testing using yours, and they makes a huge difference. So big props to you on those. But yeah, thanks for the heads up on that. I definitely want to go check that out. And so I guess let me just quick check a chat here. Jade River says try and fix the vault door. Yeah, you may have to start a new game. Yeah, a lot of times when you get things like that with the things missing in Vault 111, something is making a change that's breaking the pre-combines there, and that shouldn't be baked into your save, though. If that's all it is, broken pre-combines do not get baked into your save. So if you're able to figure out what mod's causing that, and either it's very possible it's a dirty edit. Vault 111 seems to be a place where a lot of mod authors go poking around to look for things, and all you got to do is touch something in the CK, and it will record it as a change, even if you just touch something to see what it's called. The next thing you know, you've disabled pre-combines in the cell. So you might want to go through your mods, check the mods in Xedit, see what ones modded, make changes, have records for Vault 111. That should take care of it. So I guess the first thing, let's see, I didn't do Abernathy Farm. I'm going to just fast travel down to Abernathy. Actually, you know what? Let's go to Mystic Pines first. I'm going to fast travel over to Mystic Pines, and then we'll go check out Starlight, and kind of go through my list here of the settlements to go check out. 10 Pines Bluff, I have the mod I made for myself that I'm using in the Let's Play series. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go start off there because I rebuilt the pre-combines on that. I noticed a couple weird things recording a couple episodes of the Let's Play. So let's go kind of get things started. We'll go there first. And I want to double check and see how things are going with Boston Natural Surrounding, because I did rebuild the pre-combines here, and I think it fixed some of the glitching that I noticed in the videos. Like, you guys seen those, I've mentioned those disappearing trees. That shouldn't be happening anymore, because all the trees down here used to blink in and out, and that doesn't happen anymore. This branch, this log here, would disappear when I went over it. And I noticed this rock right here was only half rendered, so apparently I made some changes to this cell. I probably disabled a tree or two and didn't rebuild the pre-combines. Oh, looks like Lucas Miller's here.
You've got to help. My sister's been kidnapped.
Not just passing through. Sorry. Yeah, it looks like let's oh, I can't see my let's see, 002B52A. I just have to move the microphone so I can see what the hell I'm typing on the screen. There used to be some trees down here that yeah, looks like that fixed. That would flicker. Those got fixed. So this is looking pretty good right now. Yeah, Tuki, the only ones I've looked at have been, let's see, I've gone to County Crossing, Sunshine Tidings, and Green Top Nursery, because I think those are the ones I'm going to use. I haven't checked out any of the other ones at all yet, so I'm kind of curious myself. But yeah, everything looks good here. And once I go and replace the textures for BNS, Boston Natural Surroundings will come back up and see how this all looks. But yeah, I just rebuilt the pre-combines on this the other night, and seems to have taken care of all the trees down here were kind of glitching in and out, and that's much happier now. So let's start off our little Sim Settlements Conqueror tour. Start off over at Mystic Pines. Let's see, Benjamin is asking, have I ever had a problem where you hot load a save and it doesn't change in the game, but it changes in the C, you mean the CK? If you mean the CK, the Creation Club, yeah, the Creation Kit, certain changes you make in the Creation Kit, if you've already have them baked into your save, they will not show in your save. Anything persistent objects, like most workbenches, are all persistent items. So if you move them in the CK, you've already been in that cell, and that cell's been baked into your save, they won't take effect. That's why you always want to test on a clean save. That's why I have this character specifically made, but you can also COC into a cell from the main menu, which I will be showing later when we go to test some other stuff out. If you basically from the main menu, well, I can't get there now because I'm in the middle of a game. Let's change the timescale here while I'm thinking about it. But it's probably because if you're making changes in the Creation Kit and they're not in your game, you're probably using a save that has whatever you're changing already baked into your game, and the only solution is to test it with a clean save or COCing in from the main menu. Let's get some daylight here. Whoops. I got my microphone in the way, and I can't see what the hell I'm typing. Let's make it noon. There we go. So let's go check out what Starlight Drive-In looks like with the Sim Settlements Conqueror build going on. Hey, hentai girl. How the hell are you? Yeah, I can tell we're getting close to Starlight because I just had a stutter. Whoa, yeah, that was a bit of a stutter crossing the cell there. And there go the frame rates. Oh boy. We're down like in the 35s here. I don't think I'll be using this. This is on a RTX 2080 and I'm only getting like 35 frames. That's awesome. I definitely won't be using this right now, I'll tell you that. Oh boy, yeah. Yeah, this is something else I've noticed with the Sim Settlement stuff, is the scrap that was here before is still kind of here. Now, right now, I do not control this settlement.
Am I ever glad to see you? We could really use a hand.
But you still get the people that, well, something's going on.
It's over.
But yeah, it's already populated. All the NPCs are just labeled as civilians. It's already killed the mole rats. Yeah, oh boy.
My cat. She got out again.
They've all got unique dialogue. Well, unique in the sense that it's not vanilla dialogue. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be using this. Oh boy, yeah. Not just the frame rates, but I'm not a fan. I've never been a fan of the shack aesthetic in this game, and that's what a lot of the Sim Settlement stuff seems to be. Oh yes, and we have a naked person over here. This is another thing I've noticed. And sometimes they will spawn with no clothes on.
The one about the mole rat and the death claw.
Yeah. One thing I've noticed that if you're using mods that like the only clothing mod I have going right now is Ellie's armor compendium. If you have that loaded while Conqueror is building your settlements, it increases the chance of
Did you hear? Raiders were spawning
of the
here.
civilians, the settlers, what Conqueror, the ones added by Conqueror called civilians, increases the chance that they'll end up like this lovely lady up here in their skivvies. And I did some testing, activating the clothing mods after, in a save after all that had been built. But apparently it didn't make a difference because she's still naked. So yeah, this is. But what I was gonna say is I've never been a fan of the shacks, the way the shacks look in this game, and I've never been a fan of just piling things up like that. So I'm not gonna be using this one. And just the frame rates, it's just too much. Just too much. I think what I'm gonna do here is I'll just actually have an old transfer settlement blueprint with something set up for about a dozen people. I'll use that. Because again, this is so close to 10 Pines Bluff. I'm gonna have 10 Pines Bluff built up the way I have it now, like in the Let's Play with the mod that I made for myself. 20 or so people. There's no need to have two big settlements so close to each other. So I'm probably just gonna make this small little outpost. But this is cool. I mean, I really like coming into this place and already having it full of people. I mean, this is pretty awesome. But this layout's just not my thing. And the frame rates are pretty bad. But like I said, I set everything to ultra so that you've got stuff. You've got clutter. You've got... this is a store. That's the other thing that's really cool. You've already got vendors. Oh, there's nobody here now. You've already got vendors set up that you can trade with. But one thing that you want to be aware of when you're doing stuff like this, or if you're using a mod that adds a lot of like weapons displays, weapons are a lot of polygons for the game to render. They're a lot. They're not just one solid piece. Like these are all going to be made from even the like the load screen weapons. They're one mesh in the creation kit, but they're all made of all the individual mods for the actual weapons. So like you're going to have the stock, the sights, the barrel. They're all going to be, all those polygons need to be rendered. So anything time you add something with a lot of weapons in it, like a weapon display, that is going to be a pretty big frame rate hit if you have a lot of those. Alright, this is pretty cool. One thing I'm curious.
Don't drink the bathtub water.
Hentai Go, that's it? That's it? You got it? No. I'm giving you permission to take the day off. You have my permission to stay home and play hooky and watch the stream. But, well, thanks for stopping in. Glad you could, you know, hang out. Oh, this has no door. Oh. Where's all the stuff that should be here? Oh, the rag roach is still here. Alright. So, yeah, this is, where my, Starlight, Starlight storeroom would be, and I just was curious how they handle this. I don't like that this is blocked off here and you have to go all the way around, but, alright. So that's the Starlight drive-in, setup. How do you take us how do you take us settlement of farmers totally missing? It happened when I spawned into Gunner's attack. Hey TC Games. Sorry if I missed you, man. I'm here, you know me, I just blab away. I don't pay attention to who's in the chat. I ignore everybody. How's it going, man? Good to see ya. Hello. I'll have to scroll up to see how long you've been around. Woodchopper, I can't really answer that question. I don't really I don't really do a whole lot with the settlement thing, so if the farmers are missing, I will advise against using console commands for that kind of thing, because that could probably make things worse. But if you are, this is something else that we're going to be testing later.
There's a simp in town. I wonder who it is.
Yeah, the dialogue that these civilians that Conqueror adds is actually pretty cool. It does get a little repetitive, just like the vanilla settlers. But this is, I mean, Conqueror is still evolving, and they're coming out with new updates. Like they just came out with an update Friday night that I added. I'm going to assume that they're actually going to be adding more dialogue for those guys.
She got out again.
But it's really nice, and they comment on different things, and then I'll always saying, oh, we need more beds, or we need more this. It's a little more evolved than the vanilla. But what I was going to say, if you're using Mod Configuration Manager, which you should, if you come into Workshop Framework, which is a requirement for Conqueror, and even if you're not using Sim Settlements, I think you can actually use this anyway. It's not specifically for a Sim Settlements mod, but it has all these settings here, and one of the things here is it will actually allow you to claim a settlement. So that might be one workaround, and I've tested this a few times just playing around with Conqueror. So literally all you do is you come in here, and when you exit MCM, go back to the game, you'll get the notification that you can use the workshop. So that's one thing you can try. There are other mods that will allow you to control a settlement that you don't have already. That's one thing. I do not recommend anybody use console commands to unlock settlements. That can really, really mess things up if you don't do it the right way. And I actually don't know that there is a right way. I just don't recommend doing it, to be honest. I'm going to drop a save here, even though I'm pretty sure I won't be saving any of these. Like I said, this is testing Nora. We're not going to be playing with her at all. So let's say goodbye to Starlight and the 40-some-odd FPS that I'm getting there. Yeah, Jade River, that was Starlight. That was the Sim Settlements. This is the Rise of the Commonwealth one that it adds. Oh, I didn't see this little bar thing up here. But, oh well. We will come back. Alright, let's head over and check out Sunshine Tidings. I'm gonna fast... You know what? How far are we? Let's go to Walden Pond. And then we'll go from there. Tukey Jones is absolutely correct. I forgot about transfer settlements. That has that as well. And I've actually used that quite a bit. And I think actually this new character, I'm going to be using the 3 or 4 Conqueror Settlements. And then the rest of the things I want to do, I'm going to be doing transfer settlement stuff from older games. Transfer settlements is just awesome. It's exactly the thing I've wanted since day one of Fallout 4. Oh, alright, well here's Sunshine Tidings right here, apparently. The other thing I'm not a big fan of in these is everything has a big-ass wall around it. And that's always a frame rate hit.
Did you hear there's a synth in town? I wonder who it is.
Well, where'd she go? I think she was the synth, and she just got teleported back to the Institute. She was right there, and then, poof, she was gone. So she's the synth. Got teleported back. Alright, so here's Sunshine Tidings, and this is actually getting me a nice little, I have my FPS capped at 70. And it's giving me a little bit of a hit. Not too bad. Let's see. Well, I don't want to ignore everybody in chat here. Talk about precombines, fix armor. Oh, TC. Yeah, what? No, just passing through.
No, I'm just passing through. Oh, too bad. I was hoping you were here to help.
No, not at all. You will get force greeted by these civilians from Conqueror the minute you come into one of these places, because you don't own the settlement. Think of this as stumbling across a place like Arafu or Prim. You're just a wastelander coming on in off the road. People don't know you, you don't know them, but they're just here living their life and doing their thing, which is one of the things I really, really thought was missing from this game. Yeah, I ignore everybody in chat. Sorry. So Professor Feels Good is still here. Now this door is open. Now, the last time I came here... Alright. The last time I came in here, the ghoul was still alive, and all the cockroaches, the rag roaches were still kicking around. So I wonder... Because I have tested this out before. Let's, just going to do a little cheaty cheat.
I once saw a centaur.
Yeah.
Never going to get rid of him.
Yeah, and the other thing I've noticed, some of the vanilla stuff that's still here doesn't get disabled, so you get things spawning in weird places.
Let's see what kind of armor you've got.
Oh, apparently he's supposed to be an armor merchant. Okay.
A friend of mine told me that red roaches used to be no bigger than a thumb.
Now, some of the audio levels on these guys seem a little low to me, so I don't know how they're gonna sound you guys in the stream, but I mean, there's dogs running around here. They've got where the hell are they? I've seen the rad chickens and the rad rabbits from Far Harbor running around here. It just adds a lot of life to the place. And if you come up here, oh, wow, this was not here before. I've been here 3 times already, and that tree has not been there. So you've got, there should be a weapons dealer here, and you have a merchant over here.
What's good today?
I'm wondering if I switched...
I've been hearing these noises at night.
Yeah, they all have some pretty cool dialogue. I think it's a load order thing, because I'm also using my blank ESP version of Rust Belt Flora for just the trees. And I think I may have changed the load orders, and I think that's why that's doing that. I'm not really sure. The other thing... What the hell's the stairway here? Yep. You've got beds here. So if you're playing on survival, you got a bed there. There's some sleeping bags around, but you got a bed here. So, time is it getting to be in game here? 6:35. We'll go poke around here for a little bit and spend the night. Let me catch up on chat here real quick. Oh, Chuki, I thought... I'm just going back here. Transfer Settlements. I thought that had... Transfer Settlements, I thought, did have a thing to activate the settlement. I'm 99% sure it does. I actually have been using another mod to unlock all the Radiant Quest settlements. It's basically you activate the mod, sleep in an own bed, and it unlocks them all the Radiant Quest ones for the Minutemen. So you don't have to deal with that crap. And then you uninstall the mod, which I'm not really too keen on uninstalling mods mid-playthrough, but I've used this one probably 4 times so far and haven't had a problem. I'm pretty sure Transfer Settlements does have a thing in there that will unlock it. But yeah, where are we here? Workshop Framework does definitely have that. And I'm actually going to start using this from now on, because it has some other things here, which I have not even looked at this stuff since I really don't give a crap about the settlement system. But there's some actually pretty cool stuff here. And if there's... Yeah, see, there's a thing you can change the robot happiness level, because that gets gimped by the vanilla game. It's actually kind of cool. Just max NPC by charisma. Yeah, I'm going to have to look at all this stuff. Recruit settlers immediately. So I'm going to actually have to look into what that actually adds to the game. I don't know why the hell this tree is here. That should not be a thing. I have noticed a few glitches with some of these things added by Conqueror. Like you'll go into a settlement, and if it moves the crops, you'll come in and you'll see them as you first come in, but then if you move a little bit, they'll disappear. So it's like they get disabled, but the game still renders them when you first enter the settlement, and then you don't see them again. I don't know if that's maybe one of the things there, because I think there might be actually a tree there. I'm not sure. Let's see what else we got here. We have... Yeah, all the enemies that are here in the vanilla game are already dead. Every other time I've come in, I think this is the 3rd or 4th time I've been here, they've been alive, and I've still had to go and kill them all. This bathroom. So... I thought there was... Oh yeah, this here. All these cots, which are basically just static, you can't sleep in those. Let's see. Better to cap at 60. Are you talking about FPS, TC? 60 is, yeah, the because of the physics thing, you can go above 60 for the FPS. And I find 70 gives me a much, much smoother playthrough. I still notice a little bit of micro stutter at 60, so I pump it up to 70. And it also gives me a little bit better indication of how much stress a cell is actually taxing the game. So, like, if I go into my profiler for ENB, even if you're not really too keen on using, you know, a fancy ENB preset, it's really awesome because it gives you the draw call count, which is basically how many. It's a measure of how much the game has to render, and obviously the higher your draw call count means the more polygons the game has to render. And it's also one of the ways you can tell if something is breaking precombines or not. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. If I go back to the game, you can, depending on where you're facing, like I'm looking up towards this big shack area up here, it's 9,000. But if you go back this way, it drops down, and the frame rate goes back up. So I leave it at 70. If you get up to, like, if you start getting up into the 80s, 90s, that's where the physics start to get wonky, especially in interior cells. It's not such an issue outside, but if you go to, like, 90 and you're inside, if you're in an interior cell and you try and pick a lock, it will get sped up like about 400 times. You'll be very, very challenged in trying to pick that lock, and you'll notice that your character runs a lot faster. So I like that little bit of that 10 extra FPS. It just, for me, the way my system's set up, it just seems to make my game run a lot smoother. And so let's head up and try out one of these wonderful beds up here. I don't know. I really don't know why this tree is here. That's really odd. See, I can't find the stairs now. So let's So I really like this setup with having these places already available. So at least in survival mode, you'll have a bed to come to. Let's go for 12. Benjamin, that error, I mean, it probably means there's something wrong with your script. You either don't have something defined. That's one of the things, man, you can just Google that. Just Google, you know, papyrus script, the error, and 9 times out of 10, that's the kind of thing you can find out. Just type in the error into the Googles, and but I don't know what that means. I've seen that mentioned, but I'm gonna take a stab that you just either have an extra character that shouldn't be there. Something's not defined properly. Basic rule of troubleshooting 101, whether it's computers or anything else, if something gives you an error message, Google the error message, and 9 times out of 10, you'll be able to figure out what it is. I've run into some really weird compiling errors in the CK, and I've always been able to find out what it is just by copying the output and put it into the Googles. So who do we have up here? Oh, a raider. Alright, well, we're going to let them be. Alright, so that was Sunshine Tidings. Which I'm probably not going to use that. I'm going to use Sunshine Tidings, but I'm not sure I want it at level 2. I'm really tempted to go with level 1 on these. But I kind of wanted to stress things a little bit. So let me just mark off my list here where we've been. We hit Starlight. We hit Sunshine. Let's, what's next here? Let's head on down to Somerville Place. Do I have my... I do have my trailer mod active. Okay. That's cool. I think what we can do is... I'm going to go over to Cutler Bend and then we'll come in that way. Just kind of see what the trees and all that look like. Yeah, Chris C is absolutely right. The compiler, the errors, the compiler's really good at telling you what the problem is. I mean, it'll actually tell you what line it's on. It'll tell you what line and what character it is. So Chris brings up a really good point. The compiler is basically telling you what the problem is. Where the hell am I here? Oh, I think I'm on the wrong side of the river. Yep, I'm on the wrong side of the river. So we'll just we'll just tiptoe through the Mirelurks. Yeah. I'm not going to deal with them. If you're doing anything like this testing, or you just want to do something, you just don't feel like dealing with enemies, don't use the kill all command. Use KAH. Kill all hostiles. Yeah, goodbye. Kill all will kill friendlies and anybody else in the area. Just if you just want to get rid of the hostiles, use KAH. Because kill all will also affect your companions too. Won't kill them, obviously, but if you're in survival mode, you'll have to stim pack them. Alright. So let's go see how Somerville Place looks. Get our Painting Raider up here. Did I kill the Painting Raider? I killed the Painting Raider. Oh well. Sorry, Painting Raider. So these little red things here, this is one of the things we're going to be changing later on, is this is from Truegrass. I'm using Truegrass for my grass mod. I think it's the best one of all the ones I've tried. I was never a fan of how red these look. They stick out like a sore thumb. So I'm going to be changing those out later on. I'll show you guys how to do a quick texture modification. And here we are, and I can already see a problem. There's a bus through my porch. And there's a tree through my back porch. So I think we're going to be... This tree is going to be added by Boss Natural Surroundings. I think we're going to be editing out this cell. And we'll go do that. Oh yeah, there's... Oh boy. This is a lot more built up than I would ever want this place to be. Although my trailer porch blends in pretty well. Yeah, I'm not going to be using this one either. Because it conflicts with... Oh, hello. Well, actually, maybe it doesn't conflict that much.
Here, has it?
Oh yeah, it kind of does. When I did the Somerville Place mod, the trailer, this is a version I did for myself. I rebuilt the house, and I thought about releasing it, but I don't know if anybody actually would want it. I actually fixed the house. I can't remember what I used to fix the roof with. Actually, might have used a piece from somebody else. You know what? I used a piece from somebody else's mod. That's why I never released it. So that roof piece is from another mod that I would have to get permission from the mod author to release it. But it fixes the roof on the house. And I added this little place over here for workbenches. And I actually moved the settlement workshop over here. But, yeah, this conflicts way too much. Alright. And I know when you take control of a settlement in Sim Settlements, you can actually go and scrap that stuff. I'm not a fan of the places with these generators up there. Like, I was never into how those looked. So, alright, well this is... Oh, there's even more back here. But there's just the fact that there's actually places in settlement locations that you can just stumble across now is very, very cool. Spawns with all the stuff on the shelf, which is one of the reasons why my frame rates are so high. Or so low, rather. Please get rid of... You mean Conquered? C-O-N-C, don't follow you, Chris. Do you mean Conquered? Oh, there's a bunch of stuff floating here. Oh, you know what it is? Did I move something with that? No, I didn't. I don't know why this stuff is floating here. I didn't change the house on anything except, oh boy. Okay. Yeah, it's... a lot of the vanilla stuff doesn't get disabled, which is unfortunate. Alright, well that's Somerville Place. Let's drop a save here. So, we'll make a note that, this cell over here... Oh! It's a glow-in-the-dark sign. Oh, and that tells you... Oh, that's right. That's the other cool thing is that, all the city plans tell you who worked on and designed them, which is pretty cool. Alright. Oh, what's the, 'cause there is a... I wonder if that... There's a random encounter location right over here, and I'm wondering if Sim Settlements disables that. Oh God, it keeps going. See, this is outside the build zone. This was never here. Rad stags. That stuff is not in the vanilla game. All right. But yeah, there's just people here living their lives, doing their things. It's pretty awesome. It's nice to see that in the game finally. But yeah, I've got spotlights right outside my bathroom, just what I want. So yeah, this is definitely not gonna work. All right, let's back to chat. Need to add a text speak there. Well, the problem is, TC, is I trying to look at chat on a laptop, and it's the only place I have to put anything. I can't put anything on my other monitor here, otherwise I can't see OBS. So if I miss chat, it's only because I'm so focused on entertaining you guys. So I have to actually pause over to my right and look at a 15-inch laptop screen that has a chat on it. Believe me, if I had a better way to set it up, I would. But I suppose I could look at restructuring my OBS windows. I'll look into that for next stream because it is annoying. I don't like missing what you guys say. Because the whole point of having these little things, these little stream thingies, is to hang out with you guys and chat the chat. Can't do that if I'm not paying attention. Alright, I'll tell you what, let's, we're here. Let's head over to my Quincy Courier Station. Because I want to go check out the Adam Cat's place. Got my Adam Cat's house mod on. I want to see, I'm debating if I want to use that or not. But I want to see what BNS, Boston Natural Surroundings, adds to that cell. Because I'm assuming there's going to be tons of trees sticking through it. Khalib Gaddafi, hey man, good to see ya. Yes, the pressure of entertainers. It's a good thing I get paid so well for this. So yeah, there's some trees here. Alright, there's some trees here which don't interfere with this at all. And we're gonna cheat. We'll unlock this. We'll go here and sleep. Oh, a text to chat? That would drive me nuts. I could never do that. Where's my light box here? Wow, this looks to me... Huh. There's something going on with my EMB, because this is not how this should look. This has never looked like this before. Huh. This is really odd. Turn the ENB. That's definitely vanilla. This is the same ENB, although I am using a different version of it. More up to date. Let's see if this makes any difference. There's definitely some... Nope, I definitely don't want that. No. Alright, we're just going to deal with it for now. I'm not going to troubleshoot on the stream. This does not look great to me at all. It looks really, really bad. So it's 10:11. Let's sleep for 10. I have to get a text to speech with a voice that I'm gonna like. I get Majel Barrett from Star Trek Next Generation. Warning, incoming chat. Alright, let me speed this load screen up a little bit here. Alrighty then. Let's go check out the Atom Cats. We'll check that place out. Well, this looks really awesome with these trees added here. Oh, maybe there aren't any trees coming through my building. Alright, I was expecting this to be loaded with trees, but, alright, that's pretty cool. Oh, wait a minute, you know what? I'm an idiot. I think I may have removed this cell already. I did. I did remove the cell from BNS already. Never mind. I remember doing that now that I'm not seeing anything. Yeah, because there's this one that's coming right through the fence here. Yeah, that shouldn't be there. Alright. We should have the Mr. Gutsy down there. Alright, I'm, my feeble memory is showing... It's, showing itself again. I already edited this cell. Never mind. Okay. So, let's go... Who's next here? We did Somerville. And let me... Not Somerville. I'm just going to check off my list here. Let's see. Where are we? Let's start heading up this way. I've got to go to... I'm not even going to bother doing the castle. And I've already done... Let's see. I've already looked at the one that Warwick Homestead adds. And I'm not going to use it. It just was not something that I... It just wasn't something that I would like using. It's one of those... It just builds the shacks way up. It builds them all on top of the main building there. And it just... That's not my cup of tea, so... But there are some vendors there, so if you want a place already with vendors, that's a good one to add. Let's see, where can we go here? Tell you what, let's head over to the relay tower, and then we'll go check out County Crossing. And I'm pretty sure we'll go check this out. I think I edited BNS out of the cell that this place is in, so we'll go check that out. Chris, do I have 3ds Max? I do, but I am using a newer version of it. They have an, you can actually get it as an educational, they have an educational program, and you can get it as a, quote, student. And since I'm a student, in quotes, of the School of Life, I got the educational version. The problem is that you probably know that you need to, in order to do proper collision and do everything properly the way that Bethesda did it and use the official tools, the compact and the CK, you have to use the 2013 version of 3ds Max. Good luck finding that. You couldn't buy it if you wanted to. And I've looked for alternate ways of acquiring it, and it's just I can't find it anywhere. So what I'm doing is I've been using 2015, and recently when I built my new machine, I installed 2016 on it. I've been using it's referred to as the Figment plugin. It's an open source plugin for the NIF file format for Fallout 4. I've been using that. The only problem with that is it doesn't do collision, or at least doesn't do it properly. So every time I work on something, export the NIF out, I have to steal collision from something else, from a vanilla thing, which is fine because a lot of the stuff that I do is just modified vanilla meshes anyway, like the lockers. If I want to take the door off it, just use the vault locker and bam, it's got the right collision on it. Do I use 3ds Max? Nope. Pretty much any of that stuff is just modified vanilla stuff. I'll either... Whoa, that was a huge frame rate drop. Whoa. Oh yeah, I remember this. Yeah, County Crossing's pretty... I remember this one. I've been to County Crossing too. I will edit the stuff in 3ds Max, like when I do the Venetian blinds, if I want, for the ones I wanted opened. Those I've done in 3ds Max. But to actually create things... that's pretty much what I use. But if I'm modifying vanilla stuff, I will use the 3ds Max and then do the cleanup in NIF scope. So Doc Weathers is here. So this is pretty cool. I mean, it's got a... I'm not sure I like everything having big fences around it. I was never a fan, but I really like the layout of this one. Again, I'm not a fan of the shack. I hate the shacks in this game. I absolutely loathe the shacks in this game. I never liked this. I just don't like it. The first few times I did settlements, like my first few playthroughs, before any of the DLC, when all we had to work with was the shack stuff, I couldn't stand. That's one of the reasons I quit settlement building. I hated the parts. I hated the kits. But now there's some pretty awesome stuff coming out, so... But one thing I like about this is they really used... This is that rundown part of the building that Bethesda gave you that you can't scrap without breaking your game with a scrapping mod. They actually made a really good use of that I never would have thought of. Usually I just cover it up with concrete foundations and build over the top of it. They actually turn this into something you can use. I mean, you could actually build something in here. This is a really cool idea. I really liked the use of that space. How did I keep jumping out of third person? But the frame rates here, oh my god. This is as bad as Starlight was. The frame rates. But I like this little setup here. You've got a place with this double, like a Western bar. I think there's supposed to be a bartender here. All the doors auto-close too, and I don't know if that's a normal Sim Settlements behavior. Yeah, this fence, I've had to disable this several times.
Watch out for them raiders.
Let's see.
Let's see what kind of armor you've got.
So I just love that you've got vendors already. So, like for an alternate start mod, if you're starting out, like I was contemplating starting this next character out at the Lonely Chapel, and then bam, right out of the gate with the Sunshine Tidings, you got a place to go and sleep and trade. I'm probably not going to start him there though. I just think that's a little too close. My first thought was like, well, you know, Fallout 3 Vault 101, you basically stumble out of the vault and fall into downtown Megaton, but I don't know. I'm debating. I have some other locations I might start. But just the fact that you can start off someplace outside Vault 111 and come across and have a town is pretty awesome.
Were spotted in the area.
And I'm pretty sure that there's a... Yeah, see, this is... I'm going to have to go through and... One time I did not have the fence spawn there. I mean, you can disable that because it's a workshop item. You're not going to hurt anything. Yep, we have a trader in here.
Raining when you come here.
Those voices seem relatively low to me. Let me check my audio settings. Whoop. Yep, voices are pretty much maxed out. Cool Whip, hello. Benjamin, I'm sorry, man. I'm not going to go through... I would love to, you know... I can't give you a how-to on do the stuff when I'm trying to stream, man. I just can't do it. There's plenty of tutorials out there on how to do that stuff. And honestly, the best way to learn stuff, just do it, man. Just open up the CK, open up NIF scope, open up a mod. I'll tell you what. Take a look at a mod, unpack the archives. If something that you want to learn how to do, take a look at how other people do it. That's the best way to learn. I got into this by modifying other people's mods for myself, just learning how they did stuff. But I can answer questions, man. I can't do tutorials in the middle of a stream, man. I just can't do it. Sorry. It's either play the game or give a tutorial. I can't do both. I am going to show you guys how to do some texture modifications and how to modify a cell in Xedit. But I just can't stream, play a game, and tell you how to modify a mesh, man. I just can't do it. Sorry. Wish I could. If I got paid better, I could hire some staff. Alright, let's go check and see... Wow. Frame rate's up. Get rid of those guys. Yeah, I think when I play, I'm going to set these settlements to level 1. They're a lot more performance friendly, and honestly, I don't want them all that built up either. That was a little too built up for my liking, for such a small location. Yep, I did modified this one already. Yeah, Benjamin, I'm not trying to, come across as I don't want to help you, but I just can't. This isn't the place for me to give tutorials on that kind of stuff, man. Sorry, I can't do it. And once I'm actually playing the game, there's no way in hell I'm even going to be able to talk about the stuff that I'm going to be talking about later on. So, not that I don't want to help you, this just isn't the venue for mesh modification stuff. Yep, so there were trees sticking right out of the middle of that, so that got fixed. Alright, so that was County Crossing. I really like the layout of that one, though. I'm definitely going to use that in my game, just it's going to have to be at a lower level. The frame rates for such a small location were too much. Oh, sorry, Benjamin. Again, I'm like reading off at the little screen and I'm glancing over, and if I missed part of what you were saying, I apologize. If you're using something from the CK, NIF scope, not a step-by-step. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry, man. Yeah, if I'm modifying a vanilla mesh, you definitely want to bring it in the NIF scope. I mean, some things I'll do in NIF scope if it's something simple. Outfit Studio is something I use quite a bit, especially if I'm doing a mashup. Like if I want to do, let's say, bottles in a basket. Like one of the shopping basket, I've got this mesh that I use. I put a bunch of bottles or some dishes in it. I've done all that in Outfit Studio. You can do that in the CK. You can put all that together and make a static collection out of it and export the NIF of that. But I find I get better control in Outfit Studio. So that's another one that... Whoops. And actually, Eleonora has a really great tutorial on doing that in NIF scope. Or in, Outfit Studio. And I definitely recommend checking that out. And that's how I got turned on using it for that. Is because her tutorial. It was definitely worthwhile. All right, let's go check out Greentop Nursery. I'll show that one to you guys, because this is another one I'm definitely going to use. Because it's pretty cool. Yeah, but definitely, if you're going to do mashups in NIF scope, always bring them into, or I keep saying NIF scope. If you're going to do mashups in Outfit Studio, always bring them in the NIF scope, clean them up there, run through. I can show you guys real quick later, because I don't know if I'm doing any mesh editing, and I actually don't have NIF scopes set up for this installation. I have multiple Fallout 4 installs, which I'll show you guys later on. But you want to run them through NIF scope. You want to basically clean them up, and in some cases, you have to go and check the what's called the bounding sphere. She has a I think she actually has a tutorial on dealing with that too. If you'll put something together in NIF scope, or damn it, I keep saying it. Something together in Outfit Studio. I told you, this headache. You'll glance away from something and it'll disappear briefly. It's a bounding sphere issue, and she covers how to fix that as well. So I like this that it has little gates on both sides.
I'm glad to see you. We could really use a hand.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, but I can't right now.
Sorry, I don't have time right now.
Oh, too bad. I was hoping you were here to help.
Nope, just passing through. So there's everybody.
Say you're not a synth, but a human would loan me 50 caps.
Okay, I don't know why, but the audio on their voices seem very, very low.
Wait, was it on the left or the right? Gotta be here somewhere.
Yeah.
Does Outfit Studio take way less processing power? Honestly, I don't know. It's never caused me any problems. Nifscope, they're all pretty low resources. The reason the CK is such a performance hog and a resource hog is it's loading all the game assets. I mean, you're literally editing the game, and it loads all the game resources whether you actually need them or not. There's no vendor there. Nifscope is pretty low key. Outfit Studio is pretty low key. I mean, I've run it on my potato laptop
What are the chances
that
of
has a
somebody
really
opening
crappy
a
graphics
brothel
card,
here?
like a 2 gig graphics card. It's like a GTX 860M. I've run Nifscope and Outfit Studio on that with absolutely no problems. Warpig, hello, wants to know what's my thought of the Big Dig quest from Good Neighbor. It's okay. It's a fun little quest, and I like doing it for the fact that I can get I can get Hancock as a companion. It's okay. I mean, it's
What I wouldn't give for a decent meal.
So they've disabled all, and this is something else I wanted to check. All the stuff that's in here in the vanilla, I can't remember if is there kitchen stuff in here? I know there's some, which maybe you can scrap. You know what? If there is, it's scrappable.
Lately, I've been hearing these noises at night.
I think it's because they aren't vanilla. Volume must be lower when recorded.
Did you hear? Raiders were spotted in the area.
See, she's spawning with the LE Armor Emporium stuff with no problem. Yeah, that's what I thought too, Chris. But when I was playing earlier, maybe it's my headphones too. I've noticed I got new headphones, and they seem to sound a lot lower than my old ones do. So maybe it's just my end. I don't know. So yeah, this is. Tell you what. Let's. Time is it here? I think instead of sleeping, I'm just going to do set game hour. Since we're not actually playing. Let's do 10 in the morning. How about that? There we go. That was easy. I like this layout. It's very similar to one I did the only time I built in Green Top Nursery. It's kind of similar to that. And you've got a little shop over here that will have a merchant in it eventually.
Hey, that for sale? Give you 100 caps right now.
Lately,
yeah, see, there should be a merchant there. It's basically a junk dealer. It has a lot of potential. This is the level 2. The level 1 that I'm probably going to be using, this is basically all like a just a regular shack. Doesn't have the brick walls.
Solid gold. Only
So
10 caps.
this is a pretty cool, but yeah, the frame rates here are pretty bad.
What are you up to?
For such a small place. Now there should be another door here. Alright. So, that's pretty cool. I'm definitely going to be using that one. But I think I'm going to go with level 1 on the other ones. I don't want them to be all as built up as they are. Let's see. Oh, I just did the wrong one. We didn't do Coastal Cottage yet. So I think we'll go there next. You guys use Sim Settlements know that you can... They all have... All the locations, settlements will have the different levels that they'll build themselves up to. Conqueror allows you to pick the starting level and set whether they actually advance or not, which I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to pick probably level 1 and let them stay at that. Because I think little places like this, like I said, they shouldn't be built up like Diamond City. They should be a place where like maybe 6-7 people live. Some farmers just doing their thing, trading with the caravans. Just these little isolated batches of just a handful of people. Kind of like this, you know, you figure you get the bigger cities and the suburbs, and then out in the countryside you have these small towns. I mean, in real life, you wouldn't have a tiny little place with like 30 people packed into it, you know. It just doesn't make sense to me. So I'm quite content with having these be smaller, less populated places. Let's see. The outfit, let's see, outfit meshes instead of static collection. Takes power in-game. Static collections, oh, you mean pre-combined? Static collections, like if you did static collections are still going to require, if you're talking about, Benjamin, if you're talking about static collections compared to pre-combined meshes are always going to be better. Because the thing with pre-combined meshes, and you got to remember there's also the previs data, the previsibility data, that's part of the optimization system. You can't have one without the other. And if you disable one, the other one gets disabled. The reason that they work together is that the game calculates what you can see, what the player can see. So, if you open up a cell in the CK, this rock I'm standing on right here, this big old rock, let's go to FreeCam. This is a crash course in the whole pre-combined BS thing, because I actually hate the system. Bethesda builds a game that basically gives you these settlements to make your own fun in, fills them with these crappy rundown buildings that you can't scrap. And then in order to scrap them, you have to build a game that literally breaks the game, that they've built with a system that doesn't allow you to do that without breaking the game. So, roundabout what I was going to say. So this rock here, let me drop down to 5 here. You can only see the top part of the rock, but if you go down below, look at all this part of the rock that's under here. Look at this big ass rock. All this huge rock under here, all those polygons on it. But you can only see this little tip of the iceberg here. The way the pre-combined system works in pre-visibility, the game calculates what you can see. And it only renders and processes what you can see at any given time. Like as I go around here, since I can't see the back of the rock, the game's not rendering it. It's not taking up any processing power at all. With your pre-combines disabled, it's drawing everything. Even all that crap under the ground that we just looked at, all that gets rendered. That's why when you're downtown, all the buses, all the debris, all that shit that they just shove under the ground that you can't see, pre-combines allow the game to run, and it doesn't render that. You have your pre-combines disabled, broken, everything you can't see gets rendered. That's why it's such a problem downtown. You get in 20 FPS because all this shite down underneath here that you can't see. I mean, there's really nothing here, but if you go under downtown, there's going to be all the debris and crap from downtown. All that will get rendered. So, static collections aren't really going to change that. They will cut things down because the game, again, it combines them. The way I understand how the collections work, it will only render what you can see, but you don't want to do a world space in just static collections, if that helps at all. Now, you can have your static collections become part of a pre-combine, and you can't pick and choose what the game puts into a pre-combine. If it's a static object, it's probably going to make it pre-combined once you do the generation. So if your question is which is better, pre-combines or static collections, well, pre-combines, hands down. But you have to generate them properly in the CK with the previs data, otherwise it's kind of pointless to do them. Hope that's a roundabout way of explaining. I didn't fully understand your question, but if that's what you were asking about, that's my long-winded answer to that. Worst system ever. Oh my god. Okay, here's a game that you can build your own fun, you can build your settlements, you can build up the Commonwealth, and we're going to give you these crappy, rundown shacks, but you can't touch them. Just build everything else, just forget this broken down, rundown house that you have to use a mod that breaks the game in order to scrap. Gee, who thought that was a good idea? The pre-combined system is great for a game that you can't modify the world space to. For a game like, I don't know if the Metro games have it, but for a game like that you have all that detail, all the intense detail that those games have, pre-combines are great. But for a Bethesda game, an open world exploration game that allows you to modify the world space as you see fit, it's horrible. Who thought that was a good idea? They should be fired. Probably the same people that came up with Fallout 76. Oh! Shots were fired. Okay, so that's Green Top Nursery. Let's move on. We have to go over to Kingsport Lighthouse. Let's head over to Long Neck Nukowski's. We'll go from there. Yes, Chris actually absolutely right and beat me to the punch with it. The first item you put into Outfit Studio, that's where you get the collision from. If you do the things in the skull, do the skulls in the CK, everything will have proper collision. And the last item you add is what the pivot point is based on. So there's actually a marker in there that I never knew existed until about 6 months ago. That you put that marker into your static collection as the last item, and that's where the pivot point is. But yeah, that's really the big benefit of doing the static collections in the CK is everything has proper collision on it. Oh boy. Okay, I can see that they didn't. Whoa! Check that car out. All right, so apparently these civilians are essential, and Sim Settlements. Oh, all right. Let's end this little party. So apparently Sim Settlements doesn't disable the enemies here either. Oh. All right. Well, he appeared naked for some reason. So this is, again, this is much more shacky than I would ever want to use. But I was contemplating doing something with Kingsport since I've never done anything here before. Except use it for the Red Wave, because I use the Red Wave fast travel boat mod that gets docked down there. It's the only time I've ever done anything here. So this frame rate's tanking quite a bit. But it looks like Sim Settlements actually patched up the... Come on, get out of my way here, dude. Just wondering if they removed... Yeah, all these, Children of Adam are showing up, nude. And I'm wondering... Did you guys loot those bodies before I got here? Come on. Yeah, this is not my style. I do like how they put the spotlights and these little, I don't know, these, like the basketball things on top of the guard shacks. Are you gonna want to talk to me?
What's good today?
All right, apparently you're. So he spawned. All right, he spawned with this outfit from Ellie's armor compendium, but
How's
didn't
it going?
equip it. All right, so this is interesting, but yeah, I'm not into the whole shack aesthetic thing. Not my style. But I really like how they the little interior plots, they have all the clutter and everything added. That's pretty cool. It's also why it's a frame rate hit. Let's see. Cars are the most dangerous enemies in Fallout. I know. Death by car is probably something I've had more than I want to admit. What do we got down here? See, this is cool. I wish they used more of these kind of shack parts than the wooden ones. Because this is almost like a Quonset hut type of thing. And this is really cool. I like what... So these will come in handy with dog meat. The auto-closing doors. That's beautiful. I like that. And I think they added all this stuff, too. Oh, we have a bar down here. Sweet.
What's good today?
One thing I've noticed...
What is that smell?
That smell is freedom, my friend. One thing I've noticed with these civilians, the vendors, is sometimes the first time I come into a cell, is I can't interact with them at all. I just don't even get an option. But if I sit and wait for an hour, then I can talk to them. It's like the activation on them gets wonky or something. But if you guys ever run into that, that's the quickest, easiest way to fix it. Just sit in a chair for an hour, and then you should be able to talk to them again. Can you mod the pre-combines? That is a good question, and I think you can. I am not the person to ask about that. There has been some discussion on that. They didn't get rid of these mines. Fabulous. Alright. There is... Oh. Yeah, they didn't get rid of those mines. There's been some talk about that on the CK forums on the Nexus. I'm not the person to ask about that. I think you can. It's way above my pay grade, though, and actual how to do that. You'd have to have a really good reason to want to do it, though. And the problem is, it's really hard to know, at least to my end of things, what the pre-combines actually are that you want to edit, because you have no way of knowing what's in a pre-combine in the creation kit. It doesn't tell you. So, like, if you open up a cell in the CK... Actually, Michael at Gamer Poets asked me some question about this the other day, and I had to tell him, you open up the CK, you have no way knowing what's in a pre-combine or not. It just doesn't... What the hell's wrong with this ground texture over here? Well, this is interesting. It's just... Are these... Oh. Alright, I thought that these were... Alright, maybe those are supposed to be like that. It looked like they were just ends, and they were closed. I thought maybe I was having an issue. What was I saying? Pre-combines. You can't tell if something's in a pre-combine or not in the creation kit. You just have no way of knowing. It does not give you any ability to tell what's part of a pre-combine or not. So you couldn't open up the creation kit. It's like, well, I'm going to edit this pre-combine mesh. You'd have to open the mod up. You'd have to open the mod up in Xedit and do some work that's way above anything I'd want to do to figure out what you need to edit. Oh, see that? The car that was there? Alright. Oh, so apparently the Mirelurks are still here. Oh, and the Raiders. Alright. So, I wanted to see how this would, Oh. Is this the, Alright. This is the little hidey hole. I was curious to see how this would interfere with my Coastal Cottage bunker mod. I don't have it active. I can pretty much tell right away that this would be kind of be a problem. And again, I don't think I'm going to use this one. Because the...
Did you hear? Synths was spotted in the area.
Oh, this is the garage. I would say the garage is gone. They put this here, but they... Coastal Church? Oh, this is kind of cool how they did this. I didn't even recognize this, the garage here. I do like how they've incorporated every one of these I've seen with a rundown. Oh, see, I don't know why
there's a synth in town?
Alright.
I wonder who it is.
Are you going to disappear again, too, like the other one did? Let's see. Yeah, in, I can never remember if it's Viltus or Vlitus. He is, like, the go-to guy for questions on pre-combines. He comes up with stuff that makes my head spin. Heavily involved in Xedit development. He was mentioning that there's ways in Nifscope that you can actually edit the pre-combines, but I honestly, I don't know why you would want to or need to. There's probably specific reasons, like if you... I'm trying to think of the example that he used. If you're modifying a cell and you've only added a few new pre-combines, you haven't touched any of the other vanilla ones, you're just adding stuff, but you want to regenerate anyway, rather than generate all new ones to replace the vanilla, he somehow wrote an Xedit script that filters out the vanilla ones that aren't changed, and so only the ones that you generate stay, and it's like... that kind of stuff just makes my head spin. It's way, I guess that's way above my pay grade. But he had something to say about the editing of them, and I can't remember what it was offhand, but you can do it, but you probably would have to have a really good reason why you'd want to make it worth your while. So this is pretty cool, but it's too shacky for me. I'm not this, and this is gonna sound wrong, and I don't want it to sound bad. I don't want to sound like I'm denigrating this, but this style reminds me of my very first settlement builds. I just kind of built things up like this, and I don't like it. It's not me. Some people love building their stuff like this. I'm just not one of them. I used to. This looks like the first time I built at Nordhagen Beach, I think I had like a 6-story shack thing like this. And it was all just the wood shack stuff, because that's all you had to work with, this and the metal shacks. And I look back at pictures of that, I'm like, ugh. I'm glad I don't do that stuff anymore. But this is cool. I'm not going to use this one. Again, I just want to test these out and see how things look and work, and give you guys... Oh, I love it when this happens. They do the breakdancing thing. Give you guys a little preview of the pre-built stuff, because I think it's one of the coolest damn things to come out for this game in a long time. Pre-existing settlements. So I think...
Did you hear? A death claw was seen at the edge of town last night.
I'm looking for chems.
TC Games, post a link. Do you want to post a link, or do you want me to post a link? Don't follow you there, man. Clarify, please.
Did you hear? Gunners was spotted in the area.
If you want to post a link, you should be able to. I think I have the chat set to allow posting of links. But if you want me to post a link, just let me know what it is, and I can hop out of the game and do that. By all means, let me know. So, that's Coastal Cottage. Yeah, I'm probably going to use my bunker mod here. And I actually have a transfer settlement blueprint set up for about 10 people, I think, basically just guards. I have a cool little military base thing set up I'm probably going to use instead of this. So, but this is cool. I thought they did a great job at disguising this, because I did not recognize it at all. Alright, they did a great job of hiding the rundown house here. That's pretty cool. Alright, so let's Coastal Cottage off the list. A link about that guy. Yes, hang on a second. Let me
we could really use your help.
Oh, dude, I'm just passing through.
No, I'm just passing through.
Oh, too bad. I was hoping you were here to help.
Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to hop over to the next... I won't be able to post the specific link to that specific topic, but I will post the link to the creation kit and optimization thread on the Nexus forums. If I can find it here. Yep. Let's see. If this stupid paste thing will work.
Lately, I've been hearing these noises at night.
Okay. Copy, paste. I'm actually having problems with that today, apparently. There you go. The creation kit and optimization forum. Hopefully that works. I can't tell you specifically where in the thread that is. It's a very long, very involved thread. A lot of the stuff there just makes my eyes glaze over when I read it, because it gets very technical. But I want to say it's somewhere, I don't know, there's a couple mentions of it. Definitely spend some time reading through it, though. There's a lot of information there, and if you're just a casual player and you're not into mod making, the first page of that thread is going to kind of tell you everything you need to know about pre-combines and why you shouldn't use mods to break them and how they get broken. It's a really good introductory to the whole goofy system. The rest of the thread, like I said, can get really technical, makes my eyes glaze over very easily. So tread lightly. Let's see. But it's definitely worth checking out. Let's set this to 10 again. So, we did Kingsport Lighthouse. I think the only one I want to do next is Taffington Boathouse. And then we'll go modify some stuff. I'm actually just going to fast travel right there because I've been going for 2 hours already. I probably need to take a break here. Pretty sure I had Taffington on the list. So I haven't checked this one out yet, so I have no idea what we're going to find. Another big wall. With a really bad frame. I can't get over how bad these frame rates are. Wow. Oh boy. Alright. Yeah, my RTX 2080 is probably going to melt. Oh, and these guys are still all alive. Alright. So, you folks have been living here all this time with all these blood bugs? Alright. This is pretty cool. Oh, one thing. Oh, nice. They didn't add a dock here. Because the Red Wave Reloaded mod, one of the docking stations is right behind here. And I've seen a lot of mods that modify Taffington to add stuff here and it conflicts. So this is pretty cool. Got a little bed there. Oh my god, the frames. My RTX 2080 wants to melt. This is nuts. I'm wondering, hang on a second. PC. Whoop. Okay. If you guys are in a cell, and this is a quick, dirty, in-game way to check and see if you're in a cell that breaks pre-combines, pop open the console, type TPC, which means toggle pre-culling, and you should get the message that says pre-culling now disabled. If you enter that again, you should get something, you should get pre-culling now enabled, which basically what you're doing is you're toggling the previous system on and off. If you get anything other than pre-culling now enabled, that cell that you're in has pre-combines disabled. I think it says something about can't re-enable. I don't remember the specific wording, but anything other than reporting that the pre-culling is now enabled means that you're in a cell that has broken pre-combines. And it's a really quick, easy way to kind of figure out if that's why you're getting a frame rate hit or not. I'm always curious about, when I was checking these out, how they handle pre-combines. I have to say, I don't think that they've touched them. They just kind of worked around what was already here. Hello. So they have this... I don't even want to think about what the one in Hangman's Alley is going to be like frame rate wise. I don't have it on the list. I didn't generate that one, so. Alright. That's Taffington Boathouse. Really glad I got a guy to wink, widge, nudge, nudge, say no more. Actually, again, I learned that about that little trick I just showed you from that forum I just posted. I never knew that was a thing, and I've been testing it. I've actually tested on a couple of mods that people just out of morbid curiosity. People said that, no, this doesn't break pre-combines, and you look at the mod and X edit, and you do that little toggle thing, and yeah, absolutely, it does break pre-combines pretty badly. But wow. Let's see what the draw calls are here, shall we? 10,000. That's a lot. That is quite a bit. Let's see. Yeah, no wonder I'm getting... That's quite a bit. Alright. I'll tell you what, guys. Been going for over 2 hours now. And I actually didn't think it'd take me that long. That's pretty much it for the little Sim Settlements Conqueror settlement tour. I'm pretty impressed by it. I mean, the settlement styles aren't my thing. Not my thing at all. I'm going to use at least 3 or 4 of them. And but just the fact that you now have the ability to just have these pre-existing settlements is pretty damn awesome. So big props to King Gath and his team for yet another amazing technical feat. I don't know, the stuff that King Gath and his team do, I just bow before them. It makes my head spin, the stuff they figure out and can pull off. It's really amazing. I think what I'm going to do is we'll take a little break. I need to quit the game and load up another mod set anyway, because I don't want to use this. I don't want to have the whole Conqueror stuff going in the next part. I just spend a couple of minutes. We'll go and make that edit to Somerville Place. And I want to show you guys swapping out some textures that I'm going to replace in Boston Natural Surroundings. But I think I'm going to take a 5-minute break, grab a new drink, restart the game with my other mod set, and we'll see you back here in a few, and we'll go modify some stuff. Hope you'll stick around for that. I don't know how exciting it's going to be. Not that this is really that exciting, I'm sure. But yeah, we'll go break some stuff, and hope you stick around, and we'll see you back in a few. Okay, I think we are back. I hit all the right buttons here. We should be back with Naughty Nora back outside Vault 111. This is again my same test character. Saved this, made this save with absolutely no mods active, but I have some now. So what I want to do now is I want to go and modify some of the textures from Boston Natural Surroundings. I'll show you guys what things I'm not really too keen on. Now, I mentioned before were the pine trees. I do not like those pine trees at all. Tukey Jones has much better looking textures in his Commonwealth Conifers Redux mod, which I absolutely love. And what am I doing here? TFC. So what I'm going to do, essentially, is I'm going to replace the pine tree textures from Commonwealth Conifers with these. I don't like those at all. Sorry, BNS mod author, but they just look, they're too dark for me, and they just, from a distance, they just look, I don't know if it's because there's not enough alpha channel on it. I don't know what it is. Not enough alpha channel on the branches. They just look, I don't know, they look kind of plastic to me. So I'm going to replace those out. And the mod makes a lot of use of these bright green trees, which are actually Institute maples, is how they're labeled in the CK. You look at these trees in the Institute, they're all over the place. There's a green version and there's an orange version. I'm using a version of Boston Natural Surroundings that basically just adds in the trees. I'm not using the one with all the grass overhaul and everything because I prefer the ground cover from True Grass. So I've actually gone and tweaked this one already. Essentially, I've desaturated the green, turned it darker so they're not quite so bright and cheery. These will look fine in the Institute, but outside Vault 111, to me, they just look a little out of place. Let's jump back into the character here. So we're going to swap those for the pine trees. We're going to change those, and the last thing to do, and let me put God mode back on so I can run without losing my action points. And I think I showed you guys before these red weeds that are added by True Grass that are all over the place in the game. Yeah, you can see them right here. They really stick out. I don't know why they're so red. You look at the texture, they're not that red, but maybe it's my ENB. Actually, they look even worse in the vanilla lighting. Now I'm confused at which is which. Okay, that's the ENB. I have been using True Grass for, I don't know, about a year and a half now. Love the mod, have never, ever liked these red weeds. So, actually gone and desaturated those, but I'm not happy with how those look. They're a little too much the other way. I'll show you guys in a minute. So, that's the next part of things. But what I really wanted to do is we're going to have to go and fix that problem down at Somerville Place. The conflict of BNS in my Somerville trailer mod. So I'm going to jump back to my desktop, and apologies in advance. I've never done the desktop thing on a live stream, and I tested it, and I think I got it working. The screen might go blank for a minute or a second or two. Just bear with me while I fumble through this. So we're going to quit the game. Actually, how do I do this here? Let's make sure I got the right button. Yep. So let's turn the game off. Actually, you know what? I'm going to have to quit the game. Hang on a second, guys. Let's quit the game. And oh, I got a desktop. Got a little background music going. I'm hoping that you guys can still see something. I'll see the stream catch up here in a minute. See my desktop, or at least mod organizer. There should be a little background music going. And hopefully the microphone's still on. I think it is. So there's mod organizer here. So essentially what I'm going to do is we'll go in first. We're going to swap out those textures that I talked about, and then we'll go and modify that cell down at Somerville Place. So let me just get a second here for the stream to catch up, make sure that everything's working. Yep, Colin says it's working. All right, cool, thanks. I can't hear the music that's playing. It's actually, I don't know how YouTube or anybody's going to feel about me having the WFMU Ichiban stream playing in the background, but some of the music that's on there is very fitting for Fallout 4. I can't hear any of it right now, so actually if I do this, can I? Yeah, I don't know what's on there right now. But it's a good station. If you guys ever like freeform music, oldies, you know, the kind of music that Fallout 4 plays, you know, a lot of that old 40s, 50s, 40s and 50s kind of music. You know, a lot of that kind of stuff is on the WFMU Ichiban stream. WFMU, I'm going to plug them. Great freeform station out of New Jersey. Really plays some great stuff. A lot of great old rock and roll garage bands and from the 60s. A lot of really great stuff that you just don't hear anywhere else. So I hope you guys like that. I can't hear it, but I'm just going to banter on here. So let's do take a look at Boston Natural surroundings first. I have everything set up in Mod Organizer. That's my preferred mod manager of choice. So can you guys hear the music or not? I you know, not that it really matters, but I don't want it to be just me bantering. I want there to be something in the background. So if you can't hear the music, let me know. It worked when I was testing it out earlier. This is Boston Natural Surroundings. It's got the archives. I've already gone and unpacked the mod. I've extracted all the meshes and textures from it and been testing those loose. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop the archives out of the way. And it temporarily renamed the loose folders here, so that the game wouldn't read them. So these are all the textures and all the meshes. So essentially this is the same, essentially Boston Natural Surroundings, but what I've done for the trees, these are the Institute trees here that I've gone and modified. I desaturated those, and I think it's the DLC03. The spruce branch texture. Those are actually the textures from Commonwealth conifers. I just renamed them to match the texture names for Boston Natural Surroundings. So, load back into the game. It'll be using these instead of the default ones that come packed with the mod's archives. Now, when I'm happy with how all this looks, I'm going to take these loose files and I'm going to repack them in new archives so that essentially I'll end up back with archives that the game or that the mod came with, but it'll have the new textures that I want to use that I prefer. So that's the first one. Music's faint. All right, let's maybe I can pop it up a little bit. I have no idea what they're playing. Whether it's you know, sometimes they play more poppy type 60s music. It's mostly the music on the station is from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Mostly 50s, early 60s. So I have no idea what they're playing. But it's a station I like, and I just think it kind of maybe fits the Fallout 4 world a little bit. Most of the time, sometimes it doesn't. So that's what I did with Boston Natural Surroundings, and let's hop over to True Grass. And I did the same thing again. I have the archives that True Grass came with, but what I did is I extracted those textures out and found the texture for that. Let me open this up in Photoshop. This is that red weed texture that we just looked at, and I've already gone and desaturated it and changed it a little bit. You can see it in Photoshop here. It's quite a big difference than what you see in game. I don't have the I should have opened up the vanilla or the unmodified one. I'm going to take a look at this again in the game. I'm not sure I think it's a little too much the other way. I kind of wanted them to be almost like a goldenrod type of look to them. So I may go back and edit that a little bit. But I just wanted to give you guys a kind of a clue how easy it is to go and change a texture for something that you might not care for. So I have the loose files set so that the game will now read them. Sounds very Rolling Stone-esque. Not surprising. It's very possible they're playing something that's not that's not very Fallout-y. Every time I listen to them, that's one of the things I like about it is they play a great variety of stuff, and it's you know, it's better than just me. And you can tone me out a little bit and listen to the music. So let's just jump back into the game here. Like I said, this is my first time doing the desktop thing. I'm going to turn the music off now. Turn that off. Let's jump back into my test character. So if I did this properly, we should be seeing those new textures that I just activated. TC, I honestly don't care about the copyrights. I just don't want you know, FMU to have a problem with me putting their stream on my stream. That's all. YouTube hits a copyright claim. I don't care about that. I don't monetize my stuff. I'm here just for the fun of it. I'm not trying to make a buck off of it. So, and you guys remember what that tree looked like before? Let's pop into free cam again. Whoops. So, yep. To me, that looks 1,001 times better than what we had before. That is the texture from Commonwealth Conifers, or one of the tree textures from Commonwealth Conifers. Yeah, I think that looks 1,000 times better. And here is the Institute tree. I basically just desaturated it and brought the values down. It's not quite so bright and cheery. I might actually go and tweak it a little bit more. Some of maybe because it's yeah, you know, it's because in the sunlight. But let's head over to these over here. To me, these look a lot better than they did. They look a little more natural. You know, Boston natural surroundings. They don't look like they came fresh out of the Institute. They don't look pre-war. They look, you know, I think they just blended into the game a lot better. And I may want to do some work on those. And let's go find those red things again. Make money, I just save you time repeating yourself. I do repeat myself. I do repeat myself. Quite a bit. Let's see. Where were those hiding? They were back. So you can't even see them now. I think this is one of them here. Yep. These were those. So to me, they look fine. And I might want to go back and tweak those just a hair. But I think they look a little too much the other way now. Yeah, you can still, if I go down here, you can kind of still see it's got the, put the cursor right over it. It's still got the, you can still see the little bit of purpley pink that's on there. I didn't change that. So those, they look better. They just blend in a little too much. So let's quit that. I think I want to go back and tweak that stuff real quick. So go back to the desktop. And let's just, this shouldn't take long. Then we'll go take a look at Somerville Place. Now, I just need to figure out where the hell I saved that original file. Because, you know, I've never done this before. Landscape. Yeah, this has got to be it here. Nope, that's not it either. Alright. Where did I save that? I should have found this beforehand. If I can't figure out where I saved it, it should be in this folder here, but it's not. Those are the, I can actually show you guys real quick, this one. So this is the Institute tree that I modified. And if I turn off the layers, you can kind of see the difference here. They don't look quite so yellowy. I don't know how this is going to look on stream. But when you bring this stuff into Photoshop, it looks completely different. You really don't get how bright and yellowy, perfect looking they are. But let me turn my adjustment layers back on. You can kind of see how they look a lot more muddy. At least I can. I have no idea how it's going to look on your end, but it's definitely make a big difference. Alright, so where the hell did I save this to? Let me... Alright, sorry about that, guys. I thought that I had saved this here, but apparently I did not. I apologize for coming to class ill-prepared. Well, if I can't find this, I'm just going to move on to something else. I could have sworn that I would have saved that there. Is that there? That there. Wow, I feel stupid for not doing this sooner. Nope. Alright, well, I think I'm just going to move on to do something else. But bottom line is, I'm going to go back and tweak this and make them a little more, kind of like goldenrods. I kind of want them to have a little bit more of a yellowy gold look to them. So I think I just took too much red out, which I could probably do here, but I'd rather work from my original Photoshop layered file with the adjustment layers on it. But I just kind of want to give you guys an idea that if you open a mod, if you get a mod, there's one little thing about it you don't like, it's not that hard to go and change it yourself and make things the way you want. So, speaking of which, the next thing I want to do is let's open up Boston Natural Surroundings. Let's grab the ESP. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go and edit that cell. We're actually going to remove the cell that's near Somerville Place, because it's got the trees coming through my trailer mod. We're going to get rid of that. So first thing I want to do is, since I'm using Mod Organizer, I know there's other ways to do this. I use Mod Organizer, which doesn't touch your data folder, and that's why I use it. I have multiple Fallout 4 installs. Let me show you real quick here. Steam Library. Common. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different Fallout 4 installs, and then I have another one over on my other drive. This is my development. This is actually the install that I make all my mods in, and I use Nexus Mod Manager for this one. I have all my meshes, textures, and material files, all that stuff in the data folder. Just makes it easier to work with in CK and for packing archives for stuff. You can work in Mod Organizer and have it launch it with its virtual file system, but I don't like working like that because you can't compile scripts that way as far as I know. So long story short, what I'm saying is normally I wouldn't do it this way, manually put the file in there, and then we'll go into Xedit and open that up. Normally I would do that right within the data folder. And you can launch Xedit from Mod Organizer. I just prefer to do it this way. It's just, I'm an old man and I'm set in my ways. Okay, so thing is, I think that is actually a wilderness cell, and I don't know what it actually is. And what I should have done was, when I was in the game, I should have selected something and got the ID from it. So what I'm gonna do real quick, let's open up the CK real quick. I need to go find out what that cell ID is because I have no idea. It's a wilderness cell, and they don't actually have names. So what I need to do is open up the Somerville Place cell and find out the name of the cell that's right next to it. Because you can, if you're in the game, you can select something in the console. You'll get the ref ID. You can jot that down. This is a good way. If you find this is kind of, way when I see a location I want to modify or make a player home or something, I'll select something in the game with the console. You get the ref ID, the reference ID. I'll jot that down. And then you can come into the creation kit, load up the, if it's just the base game, load up the Fallout 4 ESM or the DLC, and you come in here and find text. And then in the search text, but you can paste in that reference ID, and it'll pull up what cell that is. It'll display it here, and all you got to do is double click that cell, and it takes you right to that item. So if you find something in the game, or if you have a mod and you see something weird that doesn't look right, you can, if it's not part of a precombined mesh, this is the other caveat. If it's not part of a precombined mesh, you should get a reference ID. Record that. You give that to the mod author, and they can look it up in the CK. Just rather than just getting, oh, there's a tree near Somerville Place that's wrong. Give them a little bit more reference. It's just, if you're a mod author, if you're making mods, it's a great way to find stuff in the CK. And if you're a mod user and you want to report a problem, it's a good way to help the mod author out, kind of track things down and tell them exactly where the problem is. So, do I have... Let me go to my recent things here. Okay, I have to move my laptop monitor so I can't see chat for a second here. And I'm on 2 monitors here, guys, so you won't be able to see the other... Like, I have the cell view window open. Actually, maybe I can just move this over here temporarily. You guys can see this. So, we're going to go to Somerville Place. I'll load that up, and you need to find out what the wilderness cell located next to it is, so we can get rid of that tree. And actually, it's not Somerville Place. It's Farm EXT05. Bet you didn't know that. I didn't know that until I just remembered that it wasn't in Somerville. Alphabetical. So, yeah, Farm 05 EXT. Because, you know, I think a lot of the names in the game, they're generic like this, they were developed before names were actually thought up for stuff. I think there's a lot of things like that. So, it probably wasn't Somerville Place when they made this cell, which is why it's Farm 05 EXT. So, let me just move this over here. So, here's our happy little vanilla Somerville Place cell. And I need to figure out where the cell border is. So, if you hit the B key, you hit the black and yellow hazard stripes that tell you exactly where the cell borders are. So, I'm pretty sure... I should have loaded up my Somerville mod, but it's going to be right here. So, we are now in... You can see... Where are we here? Alright, so this is the cell that you're currently in. This is why I like the borders turned on, so you can bring your camera up. And as you scroll across, you jump the cell borders. The display up here tells you what cell you're in. And that cell was right about here is where my... Actually... Excuse me. I'm trying to remember what cell I modified here. Did I do both of these? Well, it's going to be right about here. So let me just jot down. Actually, we can... Let me drag this back over here. As you change cells, your cell view window will highlight what cell you're in. So, this one I want to jot down here. And I love how they have all these cells are just called wilderness. So it's not like you can really look for them by name because there are 10,000 wilderness cells in the game. You have to go by the form ID number. 0000 E6DE for that one. And I'm probably going to clear out these 2 adjacent ones here. They're right next to each other. And this one is 000 E6FF. Is that right? No, I'm missing a 0. That didn't look right. Okay. So now we have the cell... We have the form IDs here for the cells. We know what we got to go edit. Move that out of the way. So let's open up... Oh, I already have Xedit open. Alright, so let's make it easy to find the cells that are edited. I always like doing the apply filter for cleaning, and if you're making a mod and you're publishing it, you always need to do this. You always need to do this to make sure that you don't have any stray or dirty edits. It's just a really good practice to get into. First few mods I didn't really know that you needed to do that, and there were things, like I said before, you can just touch something in the CK, and it records as a change, even if you just want, I want to open up Vault 111 and see what this table is that they used. Well, you can just select the table to get the name for it, and next thing you know, the CK has a change recorded, which you didn't want. So, let's search for that first cell. We'll come to the form ID window here. Type in the 0000 E6DE. That's the right one. And there we are. And you can see over here, there's the cell entry in Fallout 4, and there's the cell entry in Boston Natural Surroundings. And if we come up to Jump to, that'll take us down to the entry for the mod. And you can see, pull down the temporary. These are all the trees that are placed into that cell, including one of these is the one that was right through the middle of my trailer. So let's get rid of that. Right click on that, we'll hit remove. Do you really want to do this? Are you really sure? Yes. Yes, I'm absolutely sure. Ask you again, you're going to delete everything, all the records in this? Yes, we want to do that. So there goes that one.
That's where we
And
like to be.
might as well do the one next to it. The
was
F6FF. Is that in here?
Birds, all the things.
Yep,
An
that's right there.
alternate version from the
E6FF.
Untitled sessions.
Man, that was beautiful.
Temporary.
Yeah, really
There's all the
pretty. I
trees in
kinda
that
like
one.
that
More
even
the
better than the official
Maple
release
Institute
version.
greens.
After that, St.
Let's remove
Stephen's.
that one.
Gladakadova.
Gladakadova.
All right, so.
Did I say that right?
Yeah, you did.
And when it
From
turns
the
bold
St.
like
Stephen
this,
album,
you can see
released
that the
on
mod name is
ABC
bold, the
Pro,
world
St.
space is
Stephen,
bold,
Lost
and
Argus.
the sub-blocks where the cells are located, that's bold, indicating that you've made an edit to it. So that's all we're going to do this time. So you can just close out of that, and that'll automatically save it. You want to make sure when using Xedit that you have it, that you have the mod checked so that it actually saves it, but always make sure you have backup plugins checked. Because what it'll do is it'll make a backup of the one that you have open. So if you realize, oh, I didn't want that change, I didn't want to remove that, I screwed something up, you always have a backup to go to. So we can close that out. And let's grab our new one that we just edited.
And they recorded their
Cut that.
in Mexico.
Go back.
Issued on the Mexican label Orpheon.
Paste that right in there.
The whole album is great through and through.
So now that's the one I just edited, that I just took those cells out of.
Were able to exist
And we'll jump back into the game here.
and all
Hopefully this will work if I hit the right buttons. And for this one, I'm not going to load up my test character. This is another thing I wanted to show you guys in case you guys were never aware. You can, right from the main menu here, you can load a character. You can load right into the cell, into a cell right from the main window. You can just open up the console and you type COC, which is center on cell. Every cell should have a COC marker in it. And I always put them in my mods because when I'm testing, I do this a lot. I always COC right into a cell to test from the main menu. This is what I was saying earlier. I think it was Benjamin was asking about things not showing up in his game. If you're testing something that's going to be a persistent, this is a really good way to make quick tests for things. You make a quick change, COC in from the main menu, because what it does, it generates a unequipped level 1 character that's never been in the cell before. So you don't have to worry about issues with persistent objects that way. Actually, you know what? We'll find out in a second here. I can't remember if I actually have the Somerville mod active on this or not. I think I do. But we'll find out in a second here. All right, so COC, center on cell, and then the cell name, which for this case will be farm05ext. So when you hit enter, it takes you right to the cell. And Somerville Place is unique in that the COC location is almost right next to a random encounter location, which can often spawn, yeah, right there. This is a random encounter location, and I've spawned right there to have a Deathclaw right over there. So this is the random scavenger with the refrigerator. And is my mod even active? I don't think it is. Nope. All right, I screwed that up. I forgot to activate the trailer mod. So let's go and do that. Let's jump back out of this. Give me 1 second. Screen's going to turn black for a second. I thought yeah, sorry about that, guys. I really thought that I had that active already. Nope, I did not. All right, we'll try it again. I could have sworn I had that active. It looked like the trees were gone though, so that'll be a good thing. And one thing to note, since I did make the modifications at the Somerville Place, I disabled a whole bunch of the trees where I built the trailer and the porch, and then regenerated the precombines for that cell and the previs for all the cells around it. Because Boston Natural Surroundings doesn't... All Boston Natural Surroundings does is add new items. It doesn't remove or replace anything. It just adds new items. Even if my mod was loaded below BNS, which it was in the other character, the other mod set we were using when we were there and saw the trees. They're still going to be there because it's not replacing anything. They're just added. So, RMO5 EXT. Now, because BNS doesn't actually break precombines or anything, if you have this happen in your own game, you can probably just disable them. But I would much rather just... oh, you see how they just spawned into the random location there? Who are they? Oh, this is the graves site. Yeah. That's that random grave encounter there. I much prefer just editing the cells rather than just disabling things in game. That's always a crapshoot. And yep, since I removed those edits that BNS makes, everything is back to what's in my mod, including the vanilla. The vanilla trees are here because when you generate precombines for a cell, it's going to use the vanilla trees, the textures and everything to get baked into the precombined mesh. So, yep, that fixed it. I got no bus in the middle of my house and no tree on my porch. Hey, Harlock. Yeah, learning the cell names, TC, it's a hassle. But one thing I've found really helpful is actually not the CK wiki, but the Fallout 4 wiki. If you want to go and take a look at a cell, but you don't know what the cell name is, you just go to I just search Fallout 4, whatever the name of the cell is, Super Duper Mart. The Fallout 4 wiki will tell you the name of the cell. Like if you go to Super Duper Mart, it'll give you the name of the exterior cells and the interior cell. So I find that is a really good resource. But wilderness cells, that's why it's actually, if we can do one here, I can show you. Wilderness cells are a pain in the ass because they don't have a name. Porch bus. But yeah, hey, Harlock. Yeah, good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping in. So go and select that. And we should be able to go and search that tree. Let me write that down. So if you're out wandering the waste and you say, oh, I'd like to make a player home here, but I don't know what the hell the name of the cell is. You can, and I've done this, like with a doghouse or a tire or something. You can just, 1001 29522. And I actually have a whole sheet of paper with nothing but form IDs on it, ref IDs. And, so we can go back and see now that we don't have the Conqueror settlement here. This is how this actually should look. Because I had my workbenches over here, and I moved the actual workshop over here. Now this is another instance of a persistent object, although the red workbenches are persistent as far as I know. So let's say I move this in my mod, which is what I did for this. You move this. You open up a save, you've already come near Somerville Place, you've already discovered it. You make your change, you move the workbench over here. There is a script in the CK that you can attach to this that will supposedly move it to this location, but I found that those locations, if you've already entered the cell and discovered the location, those get baked into your save. A persistent object like this will always get baked into your save. So you'll come in, it's like, yeah, it looks great in the CK, but the workbench is still over here in the default location. That's where doing the COC trick that I just did comes in helpful. And if you take a look at my inventory, I have absolutely nothing. In my stats, level 1 with 1s all across the board. And it's just a generic Nate. Generic Nate with nothing but a vault suit. And that's it. And that's all he's got. But for coming in and testing a mod, just seeing a quick change, you're like, okay, the trees are gone. That's all you really need. You just jump in from the main menu, make your change, see what you did. Oh, I got to move this wall a couple inches over. And looks like we got some sentry bot action up there. So yeah, so that was the one thing that I really wanted to do, and it seems like it worked. So I think, let's see, we're going for 3 hours, not 2.5 hours now, guys. I'm getting tired and I'm getting hungry. So I think I'm going to end things here. Sorry if this wasn't exciting as actually playing. What's this dog? Where's this dog from? A vicious mongrel? Why are you here? Are you... Oh, you're hiding from the sentry bot, aren't you? But you're not... Yeah, you know what? Whoop. There. You're not long for this world, my friend. But yeah, I think I'm going to end things here. It's time for me to go eat and get ready for work tomorrow, all that fun stuff. But yeah, sorry this wasn't exciting as like an actual gameplay, but I thought it'd be fun to show you guys some of the Conqueror settlements and kind of get, I wanted to see some of them for the first time myself. And just show you guys some of the stuff I do to kind of modify mods and textures and whatnot. But, thanks, Tukey Jones. I didn't think it would be that exciting for people to want to watch me changing textures, but I got to plug in for your Commonwealth Conifers a few times, so hey, it's all good. But yeah, so I want to thank everybody for watching. Next stream, I promise, will probably be a lot more exciting and less technical. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching and hanging out. It looks like 20 or so you guys stuck it out this long. I appreciate that. Huh. I thought I had the wetness shader fix mod going. Maybe that looks a little off. Yeah, the ground looks a little odd to me. Maybe I don't have that texture going. I have to recheck my texture packs. But yeah, thanks guys. I appreciate. We'll say goodbye to. Yeah, Nate's hair looks a lot wetter than it should be. Something's up with my textures. I have that wetness shader fix mod because I hate how everybody's hair looks wet like that. So anyway, I'll stop babbling. Let you guys get on with your Sunday. Yeah, thanks, Tookie. Thanks for stopping in, man. I'm glad you could make the stream, and really looking forward to the new version of Commonwealth Conifers. Like I say, I love that mod. I love your mod. I think it's great. I've used it in probably in my past 5 playthroughs, and keep up the great work, man. And thanks again for stopping in. Thanks again to everybody for stopping in. TC Games, more of the tech, please. All right, yeah. Maybe one of these days we'll just have a, just a bullshit session. Just talk about mods and, some of the stuff that Benjamin was asking earlier. How to actually do some of the things he was asking. That might be kind of cool. Rather than, it's really hard for me to talk about that stuff when I'm trying to focus on doing a stream, especially if I'm actually playing. I could barely do 2 things at once as it is. Yeah, so this was really fun. And like I said, I'm doing all this to start a Fallout 4 character specifically for live streams. And if you kind of see the color that I have, the Pip-Boy and the HUD, that might kind of give you some ideas that I have for what I want to do with that. All I'm going to say is Olivia, my Let's Play character, her Pip-Boy and HUD are same color as Fallout 3's. And this is New Vegas, so spoilers, maybe that's going to be a thing. We'll see. But thanks again, everybody. I really appreciate the support and the interest. And thanks for sticking around and listening to me babble for almost 3 hours. Have a great rest of your Sunday, guys, and we will see you next time. Thanks again. Have a great night. Oh, before I go, I just saw that Jade River is still here, so I want a special shout out to Jade River for sticking around for so long. I know the time zone difference is a thing for you, so I really appreciate it. Always good to see you guys, and have a great night. Thanks again.